You better be fucking me. Let's go kick this off with the criticism of AEW's booking.
AEW had a pay-per-view on Saturday. One of the most unnecessary, useless, soulless, lifeless, void of any creative shows that AEW has put on maybe in all 6 years of their existence. WrestleTree 2025. There was a lot of criticism coming out of Saturday's show. I was the spearhead of those criticisms, and everything I said had much validity to it. Then comes Sunday morning, and the troops, the valiant troops, the ones that wave the flag of AEW and they bleed AEW, they had to go to war for the company that they so love because they can't handle criticisms of what is obviously a shit product. They can't handle criticisms of what obviously is a dying product. A product that is going this way and not going this way. What am I talking about?
What you gonna talk about?
Well, first of all, people complained about the pre-show bleeding into the actual main card that we paid $50 for, which I'll get into in a second. The big thing that people complained about was the fish tank spot in the main event between Jon Moxley and Darby Allin, where we saw Jon Moxley have Darby Allin in the middle of the ring, a fish tank which was filled with ice-cold water, Jon Moxley dunking Darby Allin's head into said fish tank, trying to waterboard/drown him in the middle of the ring on an AEW pay-per-view.
Yeah.
People complained about this. Indie Mud Show garbage. This is not a main event.
Yeah.
They bypassed the AEW World Championship match between Adam Page and Samoa Joe for this trash.
Yeah,
I
indie
don't
trash.
AEW says that they're family friendly, and then they use
Don't believe
like
family
this.
friendly
I would never
garbage.
let my kids watch this. This is insane.
It ain't
This
family
blah,
friendly.
blah, blah. All of these things. All of these things.
It's adult friendly. It ain't family friendly.
So the troops, the AEW employees, the ones that bleed AEW, they
That's what they
go
want.
back to the company
They
and
go in the
back
back.
the decision about this fish tank spot and back the decision to have Jon Moxley and Darby Allin create their arts or whatever you want to call it. And I'm sitting here and I don't really understand why people are arguing about the fish tank spot.
They argue
And I
about
don't
it.
really understand why the company cannot look at the online wrestling community and sit there and just take the criticisms that are obviously always going to be there.
They don't want to take the criticism.
If there are criticisms about your product, that means people care and people want it to be better.
Yeah.
I don't really understand this. But there you got Amanda Huber out there wrestling with the online wrestling community
Yeah.
about people's
The
opinions.
OWC.
Going back and forth with fans and even an ex-AEW employee/producer in Sarah Stock.
Yeah.
What did she say? We'll go over it today, right here on Off the Script. It is a brand new week. It is your Monday, October 20th, 2025.
Yeah.
You know, it's Monday, and I have a lot I want to get off my chest here.
Go
Number
for it.
one of the criticisms that I had about the show
Yeah.
was that the pre-show bled into the actual pay-per-view that I paid $50 for.
Yeah.
Now, to dead the narrative of the fucking idiots
Yeah.
out there, covers AEW because he has no other engagement but hey.
Bullshit.
JD from New Jersey, Auto 6.
What? Motherfucker?
First of all, not from New Jersey, number one. Number two, where were you people when I was openly glazing the AEW product? None of you had a fucking thing to say. But now here I am in 2025 going hard on AEW because I care.
Yep.
Going hard on AEW to fix the things that are wrong with the product. And all I do is get grief for giving you guys a very intelligent, straightforward, honest, genuine opinion. It is my job to do so. The other thing that I heard this week was, or this weekend was, he complains about the length of the show. But there he goes and covers the show for 3 hours, Shaky, from Queens, NY, 0026.
Oh.
I don't know. It's my fucking job to do so.
Yeah.
I've made this my everyday gig.
Yeah.
It was my choice to watch the show and then go live. Have you guys ever had a job, or maybe you're currently at that job right now, where you wake up every single day and say, oh man, I don't want to go to work today. I would much rather stay home and play Battlefield 6 for 8 fucking hours and not do anything and be a lazy sack of shit instead of go to work.
Yeah.
That's exactly what I was saying. But you know what? You man up. You put your fucking pants on.
Man up.
And you go to work.
Yeah.
And you make your money.
Make your money.
I don't understand the fucking criticisms of people who said that. Oh, the hypocrisy. What hypocrisy? It's my fucking job.
Yeah, man.
What would you like me to do? Give up making money?
No, man.
All my cats, they would be looking at me. Hey, human, where's my fucking food? It's fucking ridiculous.
That's his job.
I'm
man.
sorry, maybe if you were genuine and honest, you'd have some fucking audience.
That's his job, man.
I'm the standard bearer. I'm the fucking flag of live streaming pro wrestling content / post shows in the community. And I have numbers to back it up.
Yeah.
Monday, Wednesday, Friday, out of all of your favorite creators that do what I do, and this is not a flex because the numbers just show it.
Yeah.
I'm
They'll
number
show
one.
it.
And then I got together with somebody that I call a true personal friend on Tuesdays. And we have the number one fucking 2-0 podcast in the community, where it's the superpowers of both of our communities joining forces, making that show the number one fucking duo podcast that goes live every Tuesday in the entire community. The only other duo show that is ahead of us is Brian Last and Jim Cornette.
Yeah.
And that is factual information. So again, I don't really understand all of the criticisms when A, I go live to do my job, and then B, and now ridiculed for my confidence when A, I should always be confident, and the numbers back it up. I don't really understand that. I don't need AEW.
No, you don't.
I don't need AEW and to shit on AEW. My content was there when AEW was good and I was positive. I was actually doing better numbers than I'm doing now. The only reason why they're not as good as they were is because the show sucks.
Yeah.
I don't need AEW to be bad. I don't want AEW to be bad. I was getting the numbers well before AEW completely fell off a cliff.
Yeah, man.
I don't know, man. Does everybody have short-term memory? I can go back and pull up figures and numbers and analytics if you want me to, but at that point you don't want me to, because I would make everybody look like a fucking idiot.
Yeah.
Sit the fuck down, shut the fuck up, and maybe concentrate on your own dead fucking channels and your own dead podcasts, and maybe not hitch your wagon to toxic positivity on AEW's product, because sooner rather than later, you're going to find out that that is doing more harm than it is good. Just saying. Speaks to you as a human being on you covering AEW, and there's nothing wrong with the show, and you don't want to be critical of what they do, and you're afraid to fucking piss off the boss. Fuck that. I don't give a shit. I have standards to uphold, and if I'm not honest with my community, what the fuck am I doing here?
Yeah.
That's number one. Wanted to get that off my chest. Number two, people complained about the start of the pay-per-view where we had Jet Speed, Mike Bailey, and Kevin Knight against FTR.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sorry, bro. I just don't care.
Nobody
I
cares.
don't. 2 great tag teams, don't get me wrong. All 4 great professional wrestlers. I don't care. Why does anybody care? Is there anything on the line? Is there anything exciting going on? Adam Copeland had to go film some fucking Viking documentary or whatever the fuck he's doing.
Yeah.
And the storyline that actually was in progress now has to take a back seat, and FTR has to wrestle these 2 losers who haven't won a fucking match in 2 months.
Yeah.
Or has made the tag team division better by them being enhanced, or them enhancing the tag team division.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, pardon me while I don't care.
Yeah.
A lot of people were complaining about the start of the show because this match bled into the actual 8 p.m. pay-per-view, and then some other people were like, oh, well, it reminded me of WCW Nitro, Chick.
What?
WCW Nitro, huh? Yes, because that's what we really want. A dead brand that's been dead for many, many, many years now.
Yeah, since
That's
2001.
exactly what you want
Since 2001.
AEW to be compared to. A brand that is dead.
WCW. Nitro. Monday
There are
Nitro.
way more similarities to WCW that AEW doesn't want anybody to really kind of uncover and talk about. But you really want to compare AEW to WCW? Bro, AEW is in the ship that it's in right now because it continues to make the same mistakes that WCW made.
Yeah.
I don't understand. First of all, I do understand why people were for the concept. First of all, it came from Dave Meltzer, and if you're taking advice from Dave Meltzer and you're taking that advice and integrating it into your actual show, you are so far lost that there is no help.
Mm-hmm.
So the idea of it to bleed into the show came from Dave Meltzer on Observer Live. That is mistake number 1. I commend them for trying something new, but let's call a spade, folks.
Yeah.
FTR and Jet Speed, no matter how good both teams are, sold 0 tickets, sold 0 pay-per-views on Amazon, YouTube, DirecTV, or any local cable provider, and on Max. They sold 0 additional pay-per-views. You had 0 people who were watching the pre-show and said, oh man, I gotta watch, I gotta order this tremendous, mind-blowing, unbelievable, exciting pay-per-view for $50 because I am so excited after what FTR and Jet Speed did on the free pre-show. They sold 0 interest into the pay-per-view, and whoever was already committed to the pay-per-view was already committed to the pay-per-view, and they did nothing to add any monetary value extra to wrestling.
They did nothing.
So, if you wanted to do that with somebody, maybe it should have been somebody that the fans actually give a shit about,
Yeah.
and not FTR and Jet Speed.
Yeah.
I complained about it because AEW's tailgate brawls or their pre-show or whatever the fucking case may be,
Whatever that was.
it's all worthless. I mean, when you got the Costco guys performing on the pre-show, I mean,
Boom.
do you need any more of a reason to stay away from the fucking pre-show? Yes, because I want to see Big Boom AJ against Rocky fucking Romero.
Wow.
Nobody gives a fuck about the pre-show, and it's actually insulting to my bottom line. It's actually insulting to me, the paying customer, where I did everything to avoid watching that shit, to have that shit, which nobody cares about, and nobody would willingly pay for, bleed into the actual pay-per-view, and I have to watch an extra 10 minutes of something that I actively try to avoid. Nobody cares. I wrote this down because nobody seems to understand the concept of paying for something that you clearly never had any intention of watching.
Yeah.
I don't understand it.
Well, that's weak.
You pay $50 for a fancy dinner. You get seated at a table covered in last night's dirty plates. Come on.
Yeah.
You fucking kidding me? It's like booking a reservation at a Michelin star restaurant, showing up for an 8 p.m. fucking reservation with expectations of you being treated like a fucking king for the night.
Yeah.
You're ready, you heard all the reviews, you want to experience this, first time ever, and you're being handed a menu while you sit in a sea of used wine glasses and half-eaten bread from the fucking couple. that just left. I didn't pay for anybody's leftovers.
No.
But that's exactly what AEW did. They gave you the leftovers that nobody wanted.
Yeah.
Yeah, you got the fucking toxic positivity creators and the wannabe podcasters who will never amount to anything, openly bowing to Tony Khan and fucking stroking Tony Khan. What a great idea! What a great concept! They sold 0 tickets!
Yeah, nothing. No tickets. Nothing.
My opinion, Raj Geary and everybody else that had something to say about this, Samantha Irvin,
Yeah.
or whatever her name is now, Samantha whatever, Ricochet's fiance, wife, Ricochet
Or
himself,
Samantha Man.
everybody coming out, can't handling an opinion based on what we like and what we don't like.
Yeah.
Maybe she should worry about her music career. Maybe you should worry about how he's fucking absolutely more cold now than he was 6 months ago. No, but Raj Geary's opinion is the one that fucking matters because he didn't like the fucking pre-show bleeding into the actual main attraction, main card. I don't understand it. And then you got this. Former AEW coach Sarah Stock took to social media and took aim at Wrestle Dream over the brutal spot during the show's I Quit match, which was the main event that went on at midnight. Another complaint. Maybe if they didn't give us the fucking pre-show that bled into the main show and wasted 10 minutes, we would have been here 10 minutes earlier. The brutal spot during the I Quit match with Jon Moxley and Darby Allin, the infamous fishbowl, which I legitimately thought there was
Fish tank.
actual fish in there or some type of
It's a fish tank.
deadly creature, piranhas.
Yeah.
I wouldn't be surprised. Fishbowl, ice cold water, Darby being drowned live on television. Sarah Stock had a problem with this. She warned parents not to let their kids watch AEW.
Warn them quick.
Stock's comments received several responses, some in favor of her sentiment and obviously some against it. Clearly, you know who the people who were against this.
Yeah. What?
None of the people who complained about Sarah Stock's opinion have kids, a social life, probably parents, and they live in a dark basement somewhere where they probably keep their relatives captive and starve them to death and have 3 or 4 different girlfriends who they do whatever with down in the basement. If you know, you know. Amanda Huber.
Oh. Come on, I'm just getting good at this shit.
Wife. Amanda Huber, who works in AEW and is the wife of late Brodie Lee, argued with Sarah Stock, saying that she was being hypocritical, citing that Stock choked another woman out with the belt.
What?
Interesting.
Let's read that.
That's
Let's read that.
That's a fucking winner right there. During her wrestling career, Sarah Stock fired back, claiming Huber was exposing her ignorance, which earns another response.
Hold on, JD. I gotta go read this shit. This came from Miss Dark Angel herself, Sarah Stock. She said this in a tweet, like, it is a picture of the fish tank spot with some disqualification, I quit match type of shit. That was an AEW Wrestle Dream 2025. She said that, you know who should stop this? Question mark. Mothers. With the remote control, this is worse than a plastic bag over the head. You talk about the fucking shit that happened with Bryan Danielson getting plastic bagged over the head. Kids are going to end up dead trying this stuff at home. There's a picture, let alone a gift. There's a gift right there. That was from All Elite Wrestling. That was from October 19th. It says, somebody stop this. Then there's Amanda Huber. There's Amanda Huber, who happens to be the widow of the late Jonathan Huber, who was also known as Brodie Lee in AEW and Luke Harper in the WWE. She responded and fired back by saying this. This was midnight on a pay-per-view. Meanwhile, you were working. You choked another woman out with a belt. Where was the outrage over kids trying that? And you want to quote tweet? Look, what's this shit? What's this shit? And you want to quote tweet? You want to quote tweet a video of me talking about kids' grief, and to defend you being a hypocrite? Fuck all the way off. This is a response to Sarah Stock's tweet. This response to the tweet that came from Sarah Stock, who used to be a professional wrestler and who used to be producing for AEW. Oh, this full of fucking spot with the fish tank with Jonathan Good, who had to be John Moxley, stuffing, trying to shove the head of Darby Allin through a fish tank, and you got Marina Shafir standing over John while John is putting Darby's head through a fish tank full of water. Now we gotta hear this.
Stock fired back with a series of bold claims against Huber. If I have them, if I'm not lazy enough to actually clip the tweets, I'll put them in the video.
Clip them.
She fired back after a series of bold claims with Huber. Stock claimed that when she first met Amanda, she was tearing down Sting's daughter and Tony Khan for allowing her to take your spot in AEW Outreach. Huber fired back, accusing Stock of lying to get money. Huber serves as part of AEW's community outreach team, while her son Brodie Lee Jr.
This other shit I gotta fucking read. Another tweet they have, it says, came from Amanda Huber. She said, solid logical opinion to blame mothers, not fathers, and say this type of match will get people killed. But putting a belt around someone else's neck is an okay spot. When your titties look good. If your kid is the type of copy this type of behavior, then any professional wrestling isn't for them. I'm not trying to be a jerk, but it's hypocritical and overall a shitty take. To be clear, I didn't like the spot or even the match. It's not my taste. But I didn't come online blaming mothers and then use a video of a company doing good as some type of quote unquote gotcha moment. There's Sarah Stock firing back with this shit. She said that ignorance to how the industry works. No need to get hysterical. Not surprised though. The first day I met you, you spent the entire ride in a tizzy. tearing down Sting's daughter and TK for allowing her to take your spot in AEW. In it was that's what it says in the AEW outreach. Manda Huber replied to Sarah Stock, said, "What ignorance?" She said like this, like, "What ignorance exactly? Please educate me on your expertise when it comes to children or parenting." This is a fucking gift of a co-star of a TV series that Pop had canceled. Shit's quick. Annie Annie fucking Murphy. There's Amanda Huber again going head to head with this shit. I'm ignorant to how the industry I've been in and around since 2002 works. Calling me hysterical is a choice when I'm pointing out your hypocrisy. Keep telling lies online. Maybe one of the dirt sheets will cut you a check.
Is on screen as the leader of the Dark Order, whom we have not seen. I mean, is that even a role in the company anymore?
Nope.
Stock was an agent slash coach for AEW, but the two sides parted ways earlier this year. She has previously worked for WWE. I wonder why she was so critical of the fish tag spot. Maybe she's looking to hop on it, and maybe she also wants a TKO gift basket.
What?
Surprised that wasn't stated here.
And this is what Amanda Huber said in a tweet. She's like, "I want to know what my kids, because I have kids, were doing at midnight last night. Sleeping. I want to know why. Because they're kids, my wrestling loving kids. I want to know what's they say. She's like, I want to know what they weren't watching. A match between two performers who are known for taking things to an extreme. I want to know why. Because it's my responsibility as a parent to know what they're consuming. It's cool though. I'll let them watch some old TNA stuff, and they can learn to choke each other out with a belt, since that's cool. Because checks notes, titties look great, or tits look great. That's probably the tweet right there.
She doesn't work with anybody. The tension between these two demonstrates a growing conversation about pro wrestling and responsibilities to protect younger fans. While AEW rather, has always set itself apart as more violent than its WWE counterpart, there remains a debate as to whether spots like the attempted drowning or the attempted suffocation last Wrestle Dream in 2024 should not make it to television. Folks,
Yeah, that's a shame.
this is less about the parents allowing their kids to watch pro wrestling or not watch pro wrestling.
Yeah.
This is well beyond that. But what I find funny is that, A, the company continues to absolutely vilify. There's like a series of things. Criticism is made. The troops are riled up.
Yeah, they're mad.
Then they attack. And then they try to cancel.
They tried to do that,
That's
but they ain't
exactly
gonna
what
replace you.
is being done here, and it happens almost monthly without fail.
They tried to do that to Valentino. They ain't gonna replace him.
I unfortunately have suffered this, and right now still suffering from it, still dealing with it back from March 10th, where AEW apparently has a soft working relationship with House of Glory. And according to what I know, both Mercedes and Tony Khan, who works behind several different yes men because he doesn't want the blame for anything, which we all know comes from him anyway, it all comes from the top, have actively worked with House of Glory to soft partnership. And one of their demands was they don't want me on commentary during this soft partnership. Now, you may think that I am not with the company anymore. I am still very much with the company because I have not been fired. I have not been given my termination. No official statement has been released. Someone of my status in the community who is a prominent figure in this community, you would think I would get a statement. I've gotten no statement. So I am currently still dealing with it as well because of AEW.
Yeah.
This is the plan every time a criticism is made. Criticism is made, they rile up the troops, they attack, and then they try to cancel.
They try to.
What I find funny is Sarah Stock. All she said is that she would never allow her kids to watch something that Jon Moxley and Darby Allin did in the main event for us.
Yeah.
Here you have Amanda Hewitt.
Yeah.
Who all she needed to do was agree with Sarah Stock and say, yes, it is the parents' duty to monitor what their kids watch and don't watch. And it's up to the parents that will allow their kids to watch something like this. All you needed to do if you wanted to defend the company was have a peaceful and very straightforward conversation. Well, to be fair, Sarah, the match and the spot aired close to 12:30 Eastern Time, and most children at that point are in bed. If you are a parent that puts your kids to bed early, this is not a problem.
Yeah.
If you have kids of age that you want to watch this, that is up to you and at your discretion.
Yeah.
If you don't want them to watch this type of content, you can send them to bed early and have them watch something else at that point.
That's what they need to do. That's what they need to do.
She's a parent herself.
Yeah.
She is someone that should be able to level with Sarah Stock. I don't know if Sarah Stock has kids, but I'm using this as an example. If Sarah Stock does have kids, Amanda could level with Sarah Stock and say, yes, as a parent myself, I take so, blah, 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 protocol and allow Brodie to watch something that I allow him to watch. If I don't want him to watch that certain something, I don't allow him to watch that certain something. That's all it needed to be. Yet it turned into criticism, rile up the troops, attack and try to cancel and blackball said personality from community and get the fan base to fucking sink their fangs into said personality and just amounts hatred and toxicity upon said individual.
That's what a toxic community would have been.
This is what they do. And the funniest thing of all is they have someone labeled for every single criticism. If it's towards the product, it's usually Ricochet or Dax or someone along those lines. The bigger guys, they don't give a fuck. You'll get it. You push MJF's buttons enough, they'll fucking come out on social media and say something, which is normally, it's not a every week, every month case. It's a very rare. So he's too busy to be meddling with the fucking cretins on social media. Jon Moxley, Swerve will do something. Swerve has got everybody in the community blocked because he can't handle criticism at all. You get your talents that will go out there and wave the flag of AEW. But in this situation where I said they have someone for every single criticism, it's about the tag team division, it's about the creative or certain direction, it's Ricochet or Swerve or maybe somebody else on that middle tier.
Maybe.
The fact that this had to do with parents and what the parents should and shouldn't have their kids watch, they have Amanda Hewitt, who's a parent herself, come out and begin picking fights over the criticisms that parents may have, dumbing down everybody else's opinion as if they don't matter. Amanda, who is a parent herself, a mother herself, they have her ready in queue to go to battle over the criticisms of This Is Not for the children to be watching.
God.
That's what I find laughable. folks. The company is so absolutely fucking clueless. They don't know that their behavior
That's what the
in
federal
this
government
instance
wants.
is driving the fan base further and further and further and further away from the product. John Moxley and Darby Allin didn't have to do anything. It's the fucking people that work there that are absolutely the detriment to why AEW is fucking failing.
Yeah.
Never mind the indie mud show garbage that we got in the main
It's all
event
indie
between John
trash.
Moxley and Darby Allin, which basically was
It's all
you
indie
can see
trash.
right
It's
through
all
what Tony
indie
Khan was
bullshit.
doing. The fact that Darby wanted to climb Mount Everest, this was supposed to be this at Wrestle Dream. The main event was supposed to be probably more violent at All In. This was his crowning moment. Darby was supposed to be the AEW World Champion by beating John Moxley and vanquishing the Death Riders. As you see, Adam Page was tasked with that obligation at All In.
Black piece of world into ass numbers.
And where is Adam Page now, Chad?
Who was he?
Adam Page is having one of the more unmemorable and god-awful world title runs of any AEW champion before him. Because there was no plans for Adam Page. It was supposed to be Adam Page or Will Ospreay. Will Ospreay or Adam Page. Remember that? Neither one of those guys wanted to win. Tony didn't give a fuck because it was supposed to be Darby Allin. So basically what you got here was a recreation of what Hangman and Moxley did at All In, and they never followed up on Hangman, and I doubt they'll follow up on Darby Allin.
I got a boy getting my ass chewed over not finding a bonnet.
Page post All In because it was supposed to be Darby. Folks, the moral of the story is this has nothing to do
What's the morals of it?
with how you parent your children.
What's the
I think
morals of
everybody
it?
with a fucking brain knows that if you see attempted murder on television and your kid is way too young to be watching anything like that, then you're not going to allow them to watch it.
Then don't let them watch it.
What I find funny is how Ricochet and Tony Khan use the term family friendly
Let me friendly my ass.
in regards to their ticket prices, comparing them to WWE. First of all, you made a fucking critical error right there, both Ricochet and Tony Khan. You should not be using in any context family friendly to describe your contents of AEW.
Call something
You
else.
should have put family affordable.
Family affordable. Call it something
There's
else.
nothing family friendly about your content. Not when you have fucking Sky Blue stapling Tony Storm's vagina and stapling Tony Storm's tits, and you got me.
It's like Tony Storm gets her titties stapled and her pussy stapled. Come on, man.
If you're a parent, you're not going to be wanting your kids to watch this.
No one wants to see Tony Storm's pussy getting stapled and her titties getting stapled.
Whether they want their kids to watch it or not.
Nobody wants to see that bullshit.
It's about the company.
That's indie. It's indie much so fucking garbage.
Single criticism. It's their fan base unable to handle a strong value opinion of their product. And I'm going to throw this graphic up on screen right now.
Oh, we got this 18 to 49. We got this 18 to 49 demographic rating for AEW Dynamite in this entire year of 2025. The quarter one average is 0.17. Quarter two average between January and April of this year, 0.16. Quarter three average, that was from previous July, 0.15, and a quarter average for this entire month, 0.10. The examples of the weekly ratings, the examples of the weekly ratings in this entire year of 2025, from January the 22nd, the 0.19 rating is one of the highest of the year. June 18th is Grand Slam Mexico is at a peak of 0.21 rating. The highest of the year. In the beginning of this month, October 1st, the 6th anniversary of AEW Dynamite, also known as Title Tuesday, a low of 0.09 rating, the lowest in the show's history for the 18 to 49 demo, and then October the 15th. This is days after WWE had released about 12 fucking people. They ain't about to handle the 90-day non-competes. The 0.11 rating. This is from October the 15th. That's all it. That's all it for the 18 to 49 demographic rating. What's it? The 18 to 49 demographic rating for AEW Dynamite in 2025.
Folks, the moral of the story is there are no children, there are no youth
Nope.
watching this show.
So kids.
What you see on screen right now are the demos, the 18 to 49 demos of AEW right now. Look at this. This is 2025, quarter by quarter. Quarter 1 was a 0.17. Quarter 2 was a 0.16. Quarter 3 was a 0.15. October is 0.10. Nobody is watching this product.
Nope.
They've alienated more than half of their audience. Their demo is cut in half. More than half.
Yep.
Year over year.
It's cut in half.
Their normal median for ratings now is anywhere between 500 and 550,000. This is a show that was bringing in 900,000 viewers weekly.
Yeah.
Their demo was rivaling Raw.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And this is where their demo is. Kids are not watching.
Nope.
Parents are not allowing their kids to watch this show.
No.
Gee, I wonder why. With all the slop and the indie mud show shit that we're given,
Yeah.
why would they allow their kids to watch?
What would they?
AEW is not cool anymore.
Never.
That's what you should really be concerning yourself with. You want to go out there and support the fucking company, that's one thing. But don't go out there on social media, on a public platform, and complain that a parent is not going to allow their kids to watch this shit and then share their opinion online with other parents why they aren't going to allow their kids to watch it. And then you come and wave the fucking flag and you argue with those people. Those people have every right to their fucking opinion than anybody else. And that is somebody that you should find common ground in because you yourself are a fucking parent. How about the moral of the bigger story here is the fact that AEW is not fucking cool anymore. Nobody wants to watch AEW willingly, and they're doing everything possible to drive away their fucking audience. They think what they're doing is cool, it's hip, it's in, it's must see. Bro, the ratings and the numbers prove otherwise. Where I can give you numbers, where I'm a successful streamer, number one in the community, I can give you numbers too, and so can AEW. Why their product is fucking failing and why the kids aren't watching, or as many kids are not watching anymore, because it's not cool.
It's never cool.
All Sarah Stock needed to do was show Amanda Huber this. Yes, you're correct. Nobody in that age range, nobody in that demo is watching. The only people left watching this show are fat fucking jobless losers who live on Reddit, who haven't seen a fucking gym or sunlight in days, weeks, months, years. In the 48 to 57 demo.
Yeah.
Those are the only people left watching this show, and that's all Tony Khan really wants to cater to.
They would.
That's all he cares to cater to, is that audience. Because they are the sickos, and he loves them, and this is who we used to interact with on AOL back during AIM and Reddit and all these message boards, man. This is who he wants to get. Meanwhile, the show is dead. The creative's terrible. He's the worst booker of the year. And this is the worst television that they produced in all 6 years. But everything's great. Everything's great. With numbers like this, I don't know how you see anything being great. Thank you guys very much for all your support. If you did enjoy today's video, make sure you guys go out there and check out the rest of the content. There's plenty of it. We've been rocking and rolling all through the month of October. Hit that thumbs up down below. Turn on the bell for notifications. Please hit that subscribe button down below. And I will be live back with you tonight. We got a big Monday Night Raw tonight. I'll be here to cover it live for you. So tonight live, and then tomorrow, Tuesday Night Titans with the one and only Solid Monster right here. We'll cover Wrestle Dream. I'm sure there'll be some varying opinion, but what remains is always some great discussion. Thank you guys very much. I'll see you tonight live for Monday Night Raw right here on Off the Script.
Yep. They started talking about some other shit. Got got independent wrestlers calling other independent wrestlers niggers. A bunch of bullshit that they've been doing. But that's how fucked up the world is. You can't. I mean, they do some stupid shit. Some white indie wrestlers, they say stupid shit to upset one or two black wrestlers. So that's the one thing is that's worse than a Michael Richards uh, comedy act where he started calling black people niggers. He offended the fuck out. He offended the fuck out some African American family, and he fucking pissed them off, and that hurt their fucking feelings. They put a shut him anyway until he find a way to not come over to that comedy club and watch that shit. Some shit would happen if they would have knew. If you had to go see what's up with Michael Richards, I'll tell you what happened with Michael Richards. Let's talk about Michael Richards from a 1989 television show Seinfeld. Prior to his appearance on the movie UHF. We're going straight to the lower abdomen. Let's go back to what he said back in late 2006 at the Laugh Factory in Hollywood, California, when he started launching into a rant using racial slurs and racist epithets and remarks in response to repeated heckling and interruptions from a small group of black and Hispanic audience members by Wells. The Richards was recorded by shouting, he's a nigger, he's a nigger, several times, and making references to lynching, Planet of the Apes, and the Jim Crow laws. Kyle Dawes, who was a member of the group that Richards had addressed, and said that the group had arrived in the middle of the performance and were being a little loud. That's according to Dawes. Richards had said this shit. He said Richards, Michael Richards had said this shit like, look at the stupid Mexicans and blacks being loud up there. That's the first thing he said, and then he kept on with his bit. And then after a while, I told him, my friend doesn't think you're funny. And then when I told him that, that's when he flipped me off and he says, fuck you. It says F you N word. As in fuck you, nigger. That's how it all started. It's from the Situation Room interview with this came from Kyle Dawes. Kyle Dawes was doing this interview for the Situation Room. All the shit that you see, there's a bunch of shit that he always started talking about. While the incident was remain unknown to the larger public for 3 days until a cell phone video filmed a member of the audience was obtained and released by TMZ on November 20th. of 2006, I think. This is after the incident. After the video was made around the news when Jerry Seinfeld had invited Richards to appear via satellite during a broadcast of The Late Show with David Letterman, where Richards was recording saying, "I'm not doing too good. I lost my temper on stage. I was at a comedy club trying to do my act, and I got heckled. And I took it badly and went into a rage and said some pretty nasty things to some Afro Americans." Many studio audience members laughed as Richards began his unscripted explanation and apology, thinking it was a bit, leading Seinfeld to reprimand them by saying, "Stop laughing, it's not funny." Richards said that he had been trying to defuse the heckling by even more outrageous, but it had backfired. He later called civil rights activists, like civil rights leaders like Al Sharpton, guys like Alfred Charles Sharpton Jr. and Jesse Lewis Jackson, to apologize. He also appeared as a guest on Jackson's syndicated radio show. Dawes had stated Dawes had stated that he did not accept Richards' apology by saying if he wanted to apologize, he could have contacted dot 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 one of us out of the group, but he didn't. He apologized on camera just because the tape got out. Richards's popularity among the general public had declined after the tape was released. A Gallup poll conducted in like late November found that only 41% of the Americans that still held a favorable view of Richards by some sort of contrast. Other Seinfeld cast members favorability ratings that were in the 70s and the 80s. The same poll also found that 45% of the non-whites expressed a negative view of Richards due to the incident. The incident was parodied on several television shows, including Mad TV, Family Guy, South Park. It's called "The Apologies" with apologies to Jesse Jackson. The episode that was already been aired on March 7, 2007. They will show you South Park. They always show you is the episode called with apologies to Jesse Jackson. Was after Randy Marsh just yelled the word niggers. The extras. Monday Night Raw and Smiling Friends. In the ninth episode of the seventh season of Curb Your Enthusiasm, Richards appeared as himself and poking fun at the incident. But in 2008, rapper Wale, whose real name is Wale Victor Akintimehin, referenced the incident and used recordings of the incident as well as Richards' apology in the song "The Kramer" on the mixtape About Nothing album. One year after the incident, Richards had voiced the character Bud Ditchwater in the animated film called B Movie, which starred and was produced by Jerry Seinfeld, the guy who already been starred in 1989 as Jerry Seinfeld character from 1989 to 1998. But in 2009, Richards and the other main Seinfeld cast members that appeared in the seventh season of Curb Your Enthusiasm. But in 2012, he appeared in a comedy web series, Comedians in Cars Getting Coffee. It's hosted by Seinfeld himself, in which he remarked on the 2006 incident. In the episode, Richards had explained that the outburst has still haunted him to this day and was a major reason for his retirement from stand-up comedy. That is all. Hold up, we can get back to this shit. I must have skipped all this out. Let me find out who have died. Let me go find out who have died. Shit. Where the fuck is the person that died? The fuck is the person that died, man? I'm not even worried. I'm not worrying about. Not worrying about Roxanne Perez. I gotta find out who fucking died. I can't find jack shit. Can't find jack shit. Well, I'm not going to not gonna announce whoever died. So I gotta make sure that I have to learn things without pulling out the depths. See, I'm ready to finish the stream. I don't know if I got another video else in works. I still owe y'all Fred Hampton live show. I still owe y'all live show based on Fred Hampton. You gotta be patient. I gotta work on that soon. In the stream, I'm gonna go I'm gonna eat some dinner. I'm gonna eat some dinner, man, and watch these Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. I watch these Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles reruns. That was on the Nickelodeon Teenage Mutant Ninja. What's it say? The Nickelodeon Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles channel. I'll go finish this stream because I don't want to talk y'all to death all the way before it hit like an hour. I'll just finish the same way.